Hello, and in this Chapman Game Dev how-to video, I'm going to be showing you how to animate a trigger object, like this little guy down here. Similar things can be done with trigger volumes, but that will be in a different video. So, to give you an idea of what we're going to end up with, let's play the level really quickly. Here's our cool little trigger. I've made it visible so you can easily see it moving backwards and forwards. Now, to make sure that this trigger is in fact working, let's wander over here, and every time it touches us, look, a red cube falls from the sky. Isn't it amazing? So, as the trigger moves, its trigger collision object moves with it. And every time it touches us, it causes the red cubes to be spawned via Kismet. So, how did we do this? Step 1. Let's close all this, clean it up. Step 1, let's add our trigger. So, we're going to add our trigger object, right-clicking where we want it, and add actor, add trigger. Ba-doop. There it is. So there's our trigger actor. Now, let's open up Kismet. And here's an example of what's going to be for those of you who have looked at our particle animation tutorial, how-to video. This should look incredibly similar because, in fact, it is exactly the same. So, taking this, let's first make sure our trigger is selected. Right-click, New Matinee. Double-click on this new Matinee object. And we get our Matinee editor, making sure we can see our trigger object here. Let's create a new empty group. Let's call it Trigger Move. Move. Now right-click on that group, and let's go to New Movement Track. Now, if you'll notice, it should have an automatic little keyframe in here. Let's scroll forward to about 2 seconds because I'll give it a nice period of it moving back and forth. And now let's move our trigger object to where we want it. You'll know this is working if there's a little yellow dot where the trigger object was first started. That is the first keyframe. Let's move it where we want it to go. And now click the Add Key button. Click. Now you'll see the keyframe interpolation between the two, and if we scroll back and forth, it will move between 0 and our first keyframe. Now let's clean this up a bit like we did last time. Let's shorten the overall length by grabbing the red triangle down to about where the last one is. That way it will only move between our two keyframes and it can easily loop back and forward and back and forward. Cool. This is now done. Let's close this. Now, if you remember from the particle system video, this may or may not work. Let's take a look. So, now that we have this object, let's right-click and add an event in front of it. Let's do level loaded for now, but it can be hooked up to any type of event, such as pressing a key or doing another trigger's interaction will cause this one to fire. So, load invisible, play Matinee. Let's see how it goes. Play from here. Oh, where is it? We can't see it, or if it's even working. So, to check to make sure this is working, select the object, press F4. Let's go to Display, Hidden. Turn that off. And now play from here. There's our little object, and it's not moving. Like I said, if you remember the particle system video, you will want to select this trigger, and then go into Movement, and its physics needs to be set to interpolating. So set that physics to interpolating, play from here, and now our little trigger box will move all the way to the end and stop. Now to make it loop, let's just go completed to reverse, reversed to play, and now it will endlessly loop back and forth. Now let's very quickly add something to check to see if this is working. So I've already set up this little actor factory to spawn rigid body actors in space. So let's move this over here with our trigger selected. Right click, new event using trigger 9, touch, touched to spawn actor. And let's make sure this max trigger count is set to 0. Now, let's spawn in over here. So there's our little trigger box. Let's go and look where they're going to spawn and interact. And there we go! It spawns! And every time it touches us, a new little red box is spawned, and it is working correctly. If you don't have something like this, so you can immediately check it out, select this trigger touch that you've created, scroll down in the properties to sequence object, type in something in the comment object comment, and do output object comment to screen. That will allow you to, every time you touch this, you will see a little touched message box appear on your left-hand side of your screen, like it is now. And it will associate with whatever actions are going on. Thank you